na si Marie Penelope E. Fang ng Mines and Geosciences Bureau Regional Office No. 13. Malugod na pagbati kay MGB 13 OIC Regional Director Engineer Larry M. Herades at sa mga Division Chiefs at empleyado ng MGB 13 na patuloy sa paghahatid ng serbisyo publiko at pagpapatupad ng responsableng pagmimina. Magandang araw din po sa lahat ng mga mamamayan na kabilang sa industriya ng pagmimina sa Caraga Region. Hangad namin ang mga pagpapala ng araw na ito para sa inyong lahat. At syempre pa ay binabati rin namin ang mga residente sa mga mining communities. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Pagbati rin po sa lahat ng mga partner agencies at organizations, local government units, civil society organizations at sectors na katuwang namin upang magpatuloy ang responsableng pagmimina at pagtatag ng mga ligtas at mauunlad na komunidad. Ngayong araw na ito ay magbabahagi po ako ng mga kaganapan na linahukan ng aming tanggapan noong nakaraang linggo. Nagsagawa po ang Mines and Geosciences Bureau ng DENR MGB Virtual Forum na pinamagatang Understanding Laws, Rules, and Regulations Related to Gender and Development for Mining Stakeholders and MGB Employees noong Agosto 17, 18 at 20 sa pamamagitan ng Zoom at FB livestream platforms. Ang 3 araw na forum ay nakasentro sa Republic Act No. 9710 na kilala bilang Magna Carta of Women at iba pang laws, rules, at regulations na may kinalaman sa gender and development. Ang GAD Focal Point Person, mga miyembro ng GAD Focal Point, GAD Secretariat at mga kinatawan mula sa lahat ng divisions ng MGB Central Office ay nakibahagi sa nasabing forum. Lumahok din ang mga GAD Regional Technical Working Group Chairpersons, mga miyembro ng Regional Office GAD Focal Points at mga kinatawan ng mga minahan at iba pang mining stakeholders. Sina Mr. Ferdinand P. Gonzalez, PhD, Independent Gender and Development Technical Assistance Provider, at si Ms. Vishal Hugilon Pangan na isang Independent Gender and Development Specialist ang mga nagsilbing resource speakers noong forum. Noong unang araw po ay tinalakay ni Dr. Ferdinand Gonzalez ang policy imperatives upang madagdagan ang kaalaman ng mga kababaihan at kalalakihang kalahok mula sa MGB at mga pribadong kumpanya ng mga minahan sa iba't ibang batas at mandato na lokal at internasyonal ang katangian. Ang mga international mandates na tinalakay niya ay ang mga sumusunod: Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, Beijing Platform for Action, at Sustainable Development Goals. Known as the International Bill of Rights of Women, Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or CEDAW, was adopted by the United Nations in 1979 and took effect on September 3, 1981. The Philippines signed the CEDAW on July 15, 1980 and ratified it on August 5, 1981, the first ASEAN country to do so. As of May 15, the convention has been ratified by 189 states. The convention defines discrimination against women as any distinction, exclusion, or restriction made on the basis of sex which has the effect or purpose of impairing or nullifying the recognition, enjoyment, and exercise by women, irrespective of their marital status, on a basis of equality of men and women, of human rights, and fundamental freedoms in the political, economic, social, cultural, civil, or any other fields. The CEDAW Convention is built on three foundational principles: non-discrimination, state obligation, and substantive equality. Non-discrimination is integral to the concept of equality. The Convention seeks to eliminate discrimination against women in all fields and spheres, and holds both state and non-state actors in the case of violation of rights. The Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, or BPFA, is a landmark document for advancing the rights of women and gender equality worldwide, agreed during the Fourth World Conference of Women in 1995. The international community came to a consensus and agreed to a comprehensive blueprint of commitments supporting the full development of women and their equality with men in 12 areas of concern. These 12 areas of concern are women and poverty, education and training of women, women and health, violence against women, women and armed conflict, women and the economy, women and power and decision-making, institutional mechanisms, human rights of women, women and media, women and the environment, and lastly, the girl child. The Beijing Platform for Action affirmed the principles that would govern future actions and strategies for women, and firmly set in place an agenda for empowering women by integrating their concerns in national plans and policies. Governments and the UN agreed to promote gender mainstreaming as a strategy to ensure that the gender perspective is reflected in all policies and programs at the national, regional, and international levels. The Sustainable Development Goals are a call for action by all countries to promote prosperity while protecting the planet. They recognize that ending poverty must go hand in hand with strategies that build economic growth and address a range of social needs, including education, health, social protection, and job opportunities, while tackling climate change and environmental protection. Goal 1. End poverty in all its forms everywhere. Goal 2. End hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal 3. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Goal 4. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Goal 5. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Goal 6. Ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Goal 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Goal 8. Promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Goal 9. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Goal 10. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Goal 11. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Goal 12. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goal 13. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Goal 14. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Goal 15. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. Goal 16. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Goal 17. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Sa mga lokal na batas naman ay tinalakay ang Republic Act No. 7192 o kaya ay tinatawag na Women in Nation Building Act. An act promoting the integration of women as full and equal partners of men in development and nation building and for other purposes. Tinalakay din po ang Republic Act 9710, ang Magna Carta of Women. The Magna Carta of Women is a comprehensive women's human rights law that seeks to eliminate discrimination through the recognition, protection, fulfillment, and promotion of the rights of Filipino women, especially those belonging in the marginalized sectors of the society. It conveys a framework of rights for women based directly on international law. The salient features of the law include increasing the number of women in third-level positions in government to achieve a 50-50 gender balance within the next 5 years, while the composition of women in all levels of development, planning, and program implementation will be at least 40%. Leave benefits of 2 months with full pay based on gross monthly compensation for women employees who undergo surgery caused by gynecological disorders, provided that they have rendered continuous aggregate employment service of at least 6 months for the last 12 months. Non-discrimination in employment in the field of military, police, and other similar services that include according the same promotional privileges and opportunities as their men counterpart, including pay increases, additional benefits, and awards based on competency and quality of performance. Provision for equal access and elimination of discrimination in education, scholarships, and training. Non-discriminatory and non-derogatory portrayal of women in media and film to raise the consciousness of the general public in recognizing the dignity of women and the role and contribution of women in family, community, and the society through the strategic use of mass media. Equal status given to men and women on the titling of the land and issuance of stewardship, contracts, and patents. The Magna Carta of Women mandates all government offices, including government-owned and controlled corporations and local government units, to adopt gender mainstreaming as a strategy for implementing the law and attaining its objectives. It also mandates planning, budgeting, monitoring, and evaluation for gender and development, the creation and/or strengthening of gender and development focal points, and the generation and maintenance of gender statistics and sex disaggregated databases to aid in planning, programming, and policy formulation. Tinalakay naman po ni Ms. Vichelle Hugilon-Pangan ang GAD Planning and Budgeting Guidelines, GAD Plan at GAD Agenda. What is a Gender and Development Plan or GAD Plan? It is a systematically designed set of programs, projects, and activities to be implemented by an agency over a given period of time. It addresses gender issues and concerns of the agency, clients, and of its personnel, and it should be an integral part of the agency plan. What is a GAD agenda? It is the agency's strategic framework and plan on gender mainstreaming and achieving women's empowerment and gender equality. It shall serve as basis in identifying programs, activities, and projects to be undertaken to achieve the GAD goals and outcomes, provide the monitoring and evaluation framework for assessing GAD results and outcomes. It will be formulated in a participatory, consultative, and inclusive process and consider results of gender analysis, and the time frame is usually 6 years. Example, 2020 to 2025. Tinalakay din ang iba't ibang pagdiriwang para sa mga kababaihan, katulad ng National Women's Month, 18-day campaign to end violence against women, at Women's History Month upang bigyang parangal ang mga nakamtan ng mga kababaihan sa paglipas ng panahon at makilala ang mga mahalagang papel na ginagampanan ng mga kababaihan sa lipunan. Noong ikalawang araw naman po ng forum ay tinalakay ni Dr. 10354 ang Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act, ang Republic Act number 11210 o ang tinatawag na Expanded Maternity Leave Law, ang Republic Act number 7877 na kilala rin bilang Anti-Sexual Harassment Act, at ang Republic Act number 11313 na siyang tinatawag na Safe Spaces Act. Noong ikatlong araw naman po ng forum ay tinalakay nila Dr. Ferdinand Gonzales at Miss Vishal Hugilon Pangan ang mga sumusunod: understanding sex and gender, social institutions, manifestations of gender biases, gender and development, gender mainstreaming, at gender analysis concept. Sa nasabing forum po ay nagkaroon din ng aktibong talakayan sa pagitan ng mga resource speakers at ng mga kalahok patungkol sa gender and development. At dyan po nagtatapos ang pagbabahagi namin ng impormasyon ngayong araw na ito. Para naman po sa ating publiko, kung mayroon po kayong mga issues at concerns, maaari po kayong magpadala ng email sa region13@mjb.gov.ph. Uulitin ko po, region13@mjb.gov.ph. Nawa ay maging kaisa namin kayo upang maging ganap ang mga adhikain ng industriya ng pagmimina sa Caraga Region para sa kapakanan ng nakararami. Sa ngalan ng Mines and Geosciences Bureau Regional Office No. 13, maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na suporta sa Katilingban o Kinaiyahan. Nawa ay patuloy tayong mapuspos ng kabutihan at pagpapala ng Panginoong Diyos. Mag-ingat po kayo lagi. Magandang araw po.
RPN Radio Philippines Network.